My name is Gio Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast. We're coming to you live from round 2 of the Mustafar Galactic Championship Hyperspace Qualifier. That's a lot of words to say that this is a qualifying event for the Galactic Championship happening in 2 weeks. Super excited to see who can make it out on top here and win the planet of Mustafar, but also the 32 people who will be making it into that top level tournament that we're holding here very, very soon. Joining me this round is...
This is Sam Rothstein from the Candid Clarinetist.
My favorite clarinetist. And Sam, I know a lot of clarinetists. This is true.
You do. Yes,
I do.
It's true. Being a music teacher and all.
That's right. All right, everybody. So if you are a participant in the Choose Your Champion funsies, it's very easy to do. Anybody can join. Betting is being opened in about 10 seconds. If you don't know how to play, well, I'll explain that to you in a minute, or one of our mods can take care of you. But before we go too far, because I think we're going to get into it kind of quick, Steven's looking a little aggressive, I want to remind you that this round and all of our rounds are brought to you by Curl Paw Creatives. Use that coupon code Mustafar 2020 for 20% off of your purchase on Curled Paw. Be ready to play back in person. Have that swiggity swag. All right, Sam, go ahead and break this down.
Okay, so we got on the left, we have Steven, gosh, I'm going to butcher his last name, Weiland, something like that. I apologize. With Harrison Dula, and with Chopper Crew, Zeb Crew, and the Ghost title, which I'm pretty sure doesn't do anything in this matchup, or in this list, rather. So the Chopper Crew I'll get to a little bit later, and then Zeb allows him to attack while he's still bumping. And then Leia Organa in the YT-1300, and Nora Wexley with Advanced Proton Torpedoes and the R3 Astromix. So that interaction I was talking about, I'm pretty sure this works where Hera can do a red maneuver, get an action with Chopper, and then get a focus from Leia. So he can do a red maneuver and be double modded, which is very potent and powerful combo.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the right, we have Phil Pond running the classic double fire spray list, Boba Fett, with Maul, Proton Bombs, Contraband Cybernetics, Hull Upgrade, and Slave 1. And then Kashka Frost with 000, Proton Bombs, and the Rigged Cargo Chute. So getting those rerolls with the Stress. Good combo with the Cargo Chute and 000.
All right, looks like Leia's going to have a target lock here right away. Setting up that lock, anticipating the fire sprays going away. This is actually a really great strategy in the early going, especially that you know that these fire sprays like to be pursued. It's like, hey, we have a back arc that's 3 dice. We probably brought bombs. Yeah, they did. And all types of things that you don't want to be things that make you not want to chase a fire spray are equipped on there. So setting up that target lock now makes it so that when they do actually engage, they can hit a little harder.
Yeah, and I like the early aggression here from the Rebel player, trying to pounce when he can, and like you said, I really like that aggression, getting the target lock early on Kashka.
So Sam, who do you think has the advantage in this matchup? Who are you liking?
Oh man, you know, to be honest, I haven't really flown against or with the Ghost all that much, so I'm really interested to see how he leverages that 4-dice gun. I think the Rebel, honestly, I think the Rebel player might have the advantage just because of all that health. And of course, the potency with Nora with those advanced proton torpedoes, and then Hera with that 4-dice gun. And then the fact that they're all I5, you can really put a hurt on Kashka just because you know where Kashka's going to be because of the lower initiative. But that being said, it's hard to bet against Phil and Boba Fett. So, for me, it's a toss-up. I think if I had to give the edge, I would say Rebel. But I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I'm leaning towards the Rebels. Let's go ahead and see this here. We got Kashka getting shot at range 3 hits. That is Kashka Frost in yellow. Producer Nick will get those colors swapped here in a minute. And we got 3 evades on the roll from Phillip. Let's just roll natties. That's a good strategy. That's a good strategy. All right. So anybody who's watching, you can get access to the list by typing !lists in the chat. Easy peasy. We're going to actually let's get Leia a larger and colored arc indicator. Let's get her purple.
I think one interesting thing about this matchup too is actually the choice of obstacles. Usually, the fire sprays like to bring gas clouds, so I think it's kind of interesting that we have 6 debris clouds on the field. So I'm kind of interested to see how that sort of plays out as the game goes along. Obviously, Hera doesn't care much about the debris because, she can always just chop her in action. But that being said, those extra stress will help Koshka with the rerolls. So we'll kind of see how the obstacle placement and leveraging those which player that'll benefit.
Really quickly to our audience and people who have subbed to our channel and gifted subs first, thank you. The counter is working and it is up to date. 41 is the correct count for today. And I do want to say thank you to everybody who does support the channel. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much. And we're gonna play a little game after this round, depending on how much time we have. We'll call it. I'm gonna call it a scavenger hunt. It's probably not the correct word. We'll call it a scavenger hunt though. Whoa, 8-Bit Deity dropping some subs, getting us to 61. Well, we'll at least have some stretch goal giveaways to do. All right, Sam, so you were asking me, what do I think, what list has the advantage? I think it's going to squarely hinge on how Phillip flies Boba Fett. I mean, the Slave 1 title is so good. Right now, Boba being in the corner is kind of tough. If Steven continues to be aggressive and can pin Boba Fett in a spot where Slave 1 doesn't matter, that is going to really lean it towards Steven's way, especially just with the number of dice that the Ghost can roll. If we're getting 5 hits in a couple turns in a row, Boba Fett can burn down really quickly. Your rerolls don't matter when I can roll more, 3+ dice over what you get to roll.
Right, exactly. Kind of an interesting maneuver here by Koshka. I was sort of expecting a 1 hard in just because of the positioning of Leia, and I think that Koshka might take a bit of a beating this turn.
Yeah, Koshka, sitting at initiative 3 as well. Doesn't get all the board information that Boba Fett gets to do, and right now Leia sitting at range 2, Hera at range 1, in for some pain.
Yeah, this one's gonna hurt, I think.
Now I do find Nora's positioning interesting. She's just kind of hanging out in the back. Obviously, the Y-Wings are slow, but I feel like Nora's going to come out of nowhere and just punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, usually, Nora usually likes to get in the mix. But, I don't mind this because she does have those APTs and can get that nice follow-up shot. Because the fire sprays their favorite spot is when they can disengage. And so Nora sort of trailing everyone threatens from behind, and I kind of like that he's leading with the large bases and then has Nora with the follow-up.
All right, there's 45 seconds left in the betting. We'll let it expire naturally. We'll see what happens on these rolls. You saw Boba Fett boost in range 1. We're going to have some dice here. Let's make sure the dice camera is on. It is. Here's the real question. Here's the real meta call. Will Dion go 6 for 6 on having the dice cam up for all 6 rounds for the first shot? That is the real question. Here we go.
That's what the betting should have been, I think.
We'll find out. 000 trigger there. Koshka getting the calculate. Hera deciding I have no need to keep your take a stress. No, thank you. And Leia, yeah, her arc is front back right now. There we go. And Leia might be tempted to fire into Boba Fett, but I still think you try to get rid of Koshka.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's where the target lock is too. So.
There's the roll. Got one. Only one result. Has a target lock. That's why you take it. We'll get a re-roll here on those 2 dice. And could spend the force. Oh no, she spent it already. Sorry, that's going to be hit crit. Oh, was able to get 2. Only takes a single shield. Spending to calculate. Good resource management there.
Yeah, so that's about as good of a result as Phil could have hoped for there.
Now we'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
Five dice. Hera's got a lock out there. Remember, this Hera does not have Saw Gerrera, very common staple there. Already 2 hits and a crit. You're guaranteed to do at least 1 damage. There's the roll. Hit, crit.
Pretty good.
All right, we'll focus out. Hit, crit gets through. So
I think Koshka good to avoid getting into the hole there. I think that was probably about as good as you could hope for.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the roll against Leia was great. So yeah, Koshka down shields. They're gone.
I think that should have only been 2 damage. Unless I missed that. So it's 4 hits with 2 evades, so it should be 1 more shield.
And he had only taken 1 shield previously?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Go double check with them really quick, Nick. Just in case we missed another reason to take a damage. Nick's hopping over right now. He'll talk to the players. Just get it sorted.
And in the meantime, looks like Boba did 3 to Hera.
Yeah, 0 agility means you don't get a choice.
It's like, I tried rolling defense dice sometimes. Wasn't really for me.
Now we'll see. Isofane, thank you so much for also gifting some subs. I didn't catch that in the chat. Thank you so much.
And now that we have a bit of a lull in the action, Dion, have you heard of Amazon Prime?
I have heard of Amazon Prime.
Well, I'm glad you have heard of it because, you know, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can connect it to your Twitch account and sub to Gold Squadron Podcast for free. It's totally free.
100% for free. If you don't know how to do it, we have a video outlining the steps. Now, the pages have evolved since then. Just a bit. Like the screenshots might not be exactly the same, but the steps are the same. It is all the same. So thank you to everybody who has done that. And you can click subscribe every 30 days. It doesn't auto renew. You do have to click it every 30 days, but that does give you that power during an event to help that sub goal out. Right now we are just below halfway, 49.33%. Thank you, everybody. So one of the things I'm worried about here, Koshka's kind of trapped. She doesn't have anywhere to go. Do we just one hard? I mean, we're probably dropping the proton bomb, right?
Yeah, because I think we're expecting a 4K from Hera. I think, assuming that fits on the board. But I was thinking maybe this next turn we were going to try to drop the cargo chute, but because of Boba Fett's positioning and the positioning of this debris cloud, that's not really going to be a possibility. So yeah, I am worried about Koshka right now.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 4K does fit for the Ghost, because we got that a small base ship who's on the edge of a range 2 obstacle can fit a 4K. So
yeah, that should fit.
You got a little extra there. Now, one of the things I want to talk about today, and we'll hit it here a little bit, it's talking about people's preferences in archetypes in hyperspace versus extended. Start to think about that, chat. We'll have this conversation in a little bit. But there is the proton bomb drop threatening Hera. Hera still has shields right now, but only one shield. We'll get that fixed here. The one bank does squeak in nicely between Boba Fett and Hera.
Very nice, yeah. I think I like that was probably his best option because now he's at least going to get a shot back at Hera, which is good. I kind of wonder what Boba Fett's going to do. And there's the 4K.
There's the 4K. Hera covering up the bomb. What bomb? What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
So we can preemptively just go ahead and take that shield off of Hera because that's the only ship that's likely going to take that damage from the proton bomb. Does a critical damage, but of course, if you have shields, it's just a shield.
So here it looks like we're using Leia's ability to pass a focus to Hera.
Okay, one bank from Leia. She'll have to rotate if you want to continue the assault into Kashka Frost. And thank you to both Chipri and Broad Cloak for getting us over that 50% mark. All right, so he got some options here with his actions. I'm sure he wants to rotate.
I wonder if he's considering a boost.
Now, Boba Fett could end up landing in range 1 as well. So Leia could have a pretty sweet shot. It just depends on where your priorities are.
I think at this point, because of the damage you've already done to Kashka, I think you just kind of lay in here. Just double down on Kashka and then worry about Boba Fett later. But yeah, I think Boba's definitely going to have a range 1 here into Leia.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like Leia did rotate there to have the guaranteed shot on Kashka Frost. Nora scooting up, grabbing that target lock. Nora the shark. Dun-na. Dun-na.
Nora shark doo 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 doo.
Love it.
You know, I'm actually a fan of Baby Shark. I know it gets a lot of flack, but I think it's just a great tune.
It's fun, man. Same team, Sam. Same
That's
team.
right. That's right.
I'm sure at the symphony that's how you warm up, right? That's your warm-up tune.
One of our bassoon players played it before a kids concert, and the kids like freaked out. So it's the thing.
Beautiful. And there is the one turn to the left. Boba Fett sitting real pretty. Not going to get shot by Leia. Can't shoot Leia either. But I think from the fire sprays pattern right now, the plan is to go at Hera with that 0 agility, try to take her off the board because she is the shotgun of the list.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty bloody round here for a lot of ships. So we'll see how it turns out.
And here is the 000 trigger. Can give the calculate or take a stress on Leia. The calculate can be really valuable there on Kashka Frost, being able to have that defensive token on multiple shots, especially sitting there at initiative 3. And Hera identifying that as a possibility, saying, I'm not going to let you do that again. I'll take the stress. I'm in a pretty good spot to probably relieve the stress next turn. Let's only give you the single focus.
Usually the default is the calculate, but the fact that Leia's not going to take any shots this turn, most likely, you know, I guess the one downside is that Kashka is going to get a reroll here on defense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a darned if you do, darned if you don't. All right, here we go. First shot. Steven, range 1, looking at Kashka Frost. Hit crit. And 2 evades there. Phillip in the chat. Phillip Schmidt. Yes, I am. Oh, actually, not today. Tomorrow. It's on the docket for tomorrow. The League Night one. You know which one. All right. We got a blank and a focus on that attack. Nora whiffing here.
So Nora holding onto the lock. I'm assuming she's probably going to try to get in position for an APT next turn on Koshka.
Chris Allen, I will address you in a moment after this engagement phase, sir. 2 hits and 2 focuses.
Oof.
4 total.
Yeah.
Rolled 1 die.
So you got the reroll because Hera's stressed. And 2 more evades. Koshka's greens have been good.
Green dice saying, "Yeah, we're gonna let ships live today."
Yeah.
3 eyeballs. Spend the focus for 3 hits. That's going at Boba Fett, or from Boba Fett.
So Hera with the rare evade roll.
Got the squiggle. And Hera has taken a couple of damage cards.
So the fire spreaders are in a good spot here to drop more proton bombs, and Hera's not really in a position to avoid them. Which could be troubling for this following turn.
So Hera has taken 4 damage. Going down quickly here. I feel like the Ghost, the investment that you pay for that 4 dice gun, it's definitely, and it's true with all pieces, but especially with a 0 agility ship, you got to leverage your saying, you know, my 0 agility ship will die, most times at least. How much can you get out of it in the turns that you have it alive? I think that's why in Extended especially, we have a lot of people who just who play that Saw Gerrera Hera Syndulla, even though it's self-damaging, it says, you know what, I'm going to be going down in the same amount of turns anyway. Hera, if you're going into the scrum, probably has 3-ish turns, maybe 4 to live, 5 in a good game where you're starting to pop things that matter. So in this format, the fact that the double mods are a little bit harder to come by is going to definitely be an uphill battle, I think, for Steven. Now, to respond to Chris Allen in the chat, I would love to play some Squadrons after we're done today if I'm feeling at least a little bit better. I'll tell you, I was telling people I'm not feeling great today. But I think I'd be down for some GSP After Dark Squadrons. I need to finish setting up my new HOTAS. That's kind of a problem that I have to solve here really quickly. But maybe I can just grab the old one and set that one up quickly because I actually know how to use it if we do play. All right, what were you going to say there, Sam?
Oh, I definitely agree with you. I think with Hera, your goal is to trade up in points.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the Octocon Bosk build. It's like 71 points. He's going to die. How much value can I get out of that 71 points? And so I think that the way the dice have gone so far, Phil has definitely gotten the upper hand in terms of the trading. So we'll see in the next couple turns, maybe if he can get an APT off on Koshka and initiative kill Koshka before Hera leaves the table. That might be the best option. I think likely this turn Hera's probably going to go slow, like a one. You know you're going to take a proton bomb, right? At least one. You just want to avoid like taking the Boba Fett shot, I think. So it'll be interesting to see like where they all go this turn. And is Boba going to drop one too? Yeah. Okay. So we're dropping 2 then.
Double bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. So Hera going to be taking a crit. Her shields are down. And we might even get a couple shields off of the Y-Wing and the Falcon that are coming through here.
It'll be interesting to see if fire sprays are going to take anything.
Koshka 3 banking, trying to guarantee, say no. I'm flying away from these bombs. Not interested. So Koshka in a good spot to be pursued, but this is, I kind of wonder, and I know that it does come down to play style, but I think that the correct choice may have been for Steven not to be as aggressive in the opening, because I talked about it earlier. Fire sprays like to be chased. You're playing into their game. Now, chasing them into a bad spot is how you can you can definitely take advantage of them, but a lot of times if you put the onus on them to come after you, that gives them opportunities to mess up, especially with these big guns that you have. You could be threatening a lot of space and not have to over pursue.
Yeah, especially with these proton bombs. I mean, like, this is going to be pretty bad for Hera, taking 2 crits right off the bat.
All right, Nora did bump there. Boba Fett 4 straight, just getting out of town. Now Leia, because she bumped with her maneuver, she cannot spin her arc. She won't even have a shot.
Yeah.
And here come the proton bomb. So looks like Leia's going to be taking a shield, and Hera with a crit, and then the second one, Hera with another crit.
Yeah, that hurts pretty bad.
So here's the first crit on Hera. Fuel leak, which then triggers now disable power regulator, and then the fuel leak triggers for an additional damage. Woof. JKRC wants me to do the bomb sound. Wow. That's what you get right now. I'm sorry.
Well, that's a seismic charge, not a proton bomb, though.
Like a boom.
Yeah, there you go. That was better. Yeah, so I think they're maybe Leia going over the debris.
Unlock it, Nick.
Maybe Leia jumping over the debris would have been a better maneuver, because you could have gotten in Boba Fett's way. Because now you're not getting a shot with Leia, which is a big deal, and Hera's probably going to die because you're going to take a shot from Boba and Koshka here.
Delete it while it's in your hand, Nick.
Return fire.
Scoop it and delete it.
Deanne, you're going to need to promote me to be able to do any of that.
Throw it in the black pit. Maybe it'll go away.
You guys can hear me better now, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
All right, here we go. One hit, one blank.
So this is Nora going into Koshka. And he's still holding on to that target lock. I don't know what your thoughts are, Dion, but I'm a big fan of just spending when you got it, you know? Unless it's like truly a bad shot. I almost always spend my target locks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously if it's a bad shot, you don't want to you don't want to spend your resources, but I think it comes down to where you are in a game. Right now, Steven is ahead technically, 42-37, but you can, looking at the trajectory of the game, you know that you're about to be behind very soon. You're about to lose a complete 74 points, right? So I think in this situation, when you know you're about to be behind, you got to go for the upside. So I also would have spent it in that situation. And I'm sorry, Nick, I cannot promote you as the chat has deemed you unsafe of promotion.
Whatever.
So there's a couple damage there on to Koshka Frost. She's taken 3 hull damage.
So Boba needs to get through 2 here, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, between Boba and Koshka, we need 2 damage through on Hera.
4, 5, 6, 7. 3. We need to get 3.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, right. 7.
Spends a force. It doesn't get it. Down to 1.
So no mods here, so we could survive.
Oh, no.
Nope.
I got excited for a second. I was like, oh, no, not going to happen.
F's in the chat for Hera. Pour one out.
Doesn't even get to collect the disabled power regulator ions. Technically should have had it, but not today.
So this game's not over. It's but you just lost your biggest hitter, and I think from here on out. So our first plan is we need to get Koshka off the table, right? That needs to happen as soon as possible. And then I think your path to victory is probably just half Boba Fett and hope that you can keep enough of Nora and Leia around to win on points. I think that's probably your game plan here.
100%. 100%. The half on Boba Fett is just such a good chunk of points.
Yeah, he's pretty thick.
And Boba Fett a lot of times presents a bit of a catch-22, right? So Boba Fett is built to not get shot. Like that is what he's best at, being able to, oh, you thought I was going to go this way? Actually, I have Slave 1. I'm going to go the opposite way. I like being chased. Here are some bombs in your face. He's got lots of defensive rerolls for when he does come in. He's got the force. I mean, he's got almost every tool available in X-Wing. Boba Fett's got it in this build. And if you don't do the damage to him early, you end up behind. But, of course, if you do go at him, you're playing his game. It is an uphill battle, to say the least, when you're playing against a Boba Fett, especially one played by someone who knows what they're doing, which Phillip does.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing for sure. I think here, if I'm Steven, I think that I need to hard left turn here with Leia and just ignore the Boba chase. I'm actually pretty surprised we didn't see a proton bomb there from Boba. But yeah, I would. Okay, so here's the cargo chute. So yeah, I think a hard 2 or 3 away is probably the best move from Leia. And then Nora just like a 1 bank or something.
All right, Leia is going to be hitting that debris cloud, which is going to activate Koshka's ability. Rolling for potential damage and gets it.
Ooh.
Takes a shield. Debris only does damage if you roll a crit.
Yeah, you hate to see it there.
Now, Koshka is going to have a reroll on both offense and defense versus Leia, because that's what you get with her ability versus an enemy ship who is stressed. Nora has not been able to get into a real threatening range, has the advanced proton torpedoes, and those fire sprays are moving just fast enough to stay out of range 1. All right, where are we going? Leia took the stress token, and I believe now we should be... Oh, we got a talent roll here from Boba Fett. Okay.
And contraband.
Contraband. Boosting in, saying, I'm going to get my shot.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that Boba was going to 4K or talent roll there. I really like this pursuit angle now from Boba.
That's in a good spot. I'm a fan as well. Let's see where. I mean, obviously, Boba Fett probably just going to continue going into Leia. She has the next biggest chunk of points.
Yeah, Boba's not really afraid of Nora because the Slave 1, you can just easily dodge the arc, whereas Leia's a lot harder to dodge the arc. Ooh, did we not 000?
No.
Man, Man, 000 I find is one of the hardest upgrades to remember. I don't know why. I always forget it whenever I'm playing with it or against it.
And
Natty's out.
there you go. Still takes a crit. And it's a direct hit. Takes 2.
Ooh, so Nora here could finish Koshka off.
Koshka's got 1 hole left. Come on, Nora.
And here's where maybe not spinning those locks earlier could have been a
Could pay
big
off,
deal.
yeah. Oh, you spend them all day here. We'll see what she gets.
Oh, yeah.
Spend it. You got it. This is your chance to initiative kill this ship. He's got the lock. There we go. There's a spend. Got it. Hit crit.
All right, here we go.
And that's it.
Got him.
Koshka taken off the table.
So this is where the points change actually is a really big deal for this double fire spray, because usually that Koshka has a hull upgrade on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was huge. That was really big.
And now Boba Fett has some choices. Where are you going to shoot? Nora is natively very defensive if she's fighting against things in range 1. Boba Fett doesn't like that. Saying, wait, but I'm supposed to be good at range 1.
Yeah.
That's not how this is supposed to work. And going at Leia is the call. It'll be a range 2 shot. Boba still has the force available. Rolls, hit, crit. No re-rolls in sight. I think it's just wow.
It might be
Must be
obstructed.
going-
Maybe there's a little nugget sticking out there at the end.
Oh, because of the debris cloud. Sorry.
Yeah. The cargo
That's
chute.
right. The big cargo chute. I missed that. From my angle, which is the same as a stream. You got that rig cargo chute. We'll go ahead and show you guys right there. Right there.
All right. So I think here, you just one bank with Nora to the right and take a focus because you already have a lock. So that threatens the advanced proton torpedo. And then with Leia, I think we want to bank to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't have one bank blues, do they? I think it's only 2 banks. Because man, if a 2 bank fits, then you want to do it to clear the stress. But if you don't think it fits, then maybe actually a hard turn is better, like a hard 2 or 3, because then you have both your arcs on. If Boba wants to clear his stress, then you're gonna have to make him commit to a boost because he doesn't want to take an APT.
Right.
So, yeah, I think. Okay, yeah. So he did hard turn. Okay. Oh, we did 000. He's just double stressed. Okay, that's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the 1 bank. So I like this here. Two straight. Okay. Still advantage Boba Fett here because he has all the rerolls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's one way to neutralize Nora if her ability only works if you're shooting her, and of course she brought that advanced proton torpedo to fight at range 1, and getting into range 0 eliminates that threat. Here we go. Leia has a range 1 shot into Boba. Means he'll have rerolls available on defense.
I think you just spend the force.
Yep. So guarantees at least 1 damage here. Ooh, double blanks. Gets to try again with the 2 ships in close range. Choose to spend the force, and does. Only 1 damage on Boba.
So I purposefully didn't say anything there because I knew if I said, well, he's going to roll 2 evades because, he's Boba at range 1 and gets all these rerolls. It's like the old thing where like, oh, this guy hasn't missed a free throw in 90 attempts, and then the next time he shoots, he misses the free throw.
2 hits. Rerolling here. Hit, crit. Coming from Boba Fett into Leia.
Yeah, and that crit's going to get through.
There it is. Hit. And here comes a crit. What's in the box? Hull breach. Ooh. Everything's face up on that Falcon until the hull gets repaired. That's 7 juicy hull ready to take crits. Watch out.
So I think this turn, we're probably going to see a proton bomb, I would guess. So knowing that, if I was Nora, I'd just one straight bump. Because that eliminates any sort of shenanigans going to the left with Slave 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then Leia, probably a 2-bank, because you got to clear one of these stress. So you can probably fix that hull breach the following turn. And then hope that Boba, I guess maybe a hard one, though. I don't know. I think the way that proton bomb just causes a lot of problems.
So one of the things I want to talk about here is, you know, we know that in this event, we only had, I think it was 6 or 7 Nantex squads. Now, last week, Boba Fett won the Ryloth Galactic Championship qualifier. There's a good number of Boba Fetts in this field as well. It is well known that Boba Fett is one of the best pieces, not only in Extended, but also in Hyperspace. And I'm curious to see how well it does in this event. I mean, are we gonna get another Boba Fett win? And I wonder how people will react to it. You know, the hearts and minds of the X-Wing community, just like any community, we ebb and flow every day, right? So I know that somebody would like probably a different champion than we had last week, but is not having a Nantex champion, which, I mean, it's still technically still possible. Nantex are still in the event. Is like, would you, let me know in the chat, would you be okay if Boba Fett won today's event? Or would you be a little peeved? Let me know.
I think the difference for Hyperspace is that Boba doesn't have his best wingmen. Because the Boba Fett has kind of gone by the wayside a little bit. But it also doesn't really matter because he can just solo list by himself, so who am I kidding?
That's true. So it seems like from the abuse that we've taken from the Nantex, most people are like, it's fine. Boba can win again. It's fine. I like, you know, Hydroglyph, I like that. Any list is greater than Boba Fett, which is greater than Bugs. But who knows? I mean, we do have, what is it, 50, more than 50 first order lists today. More than 50. So that can definitely end up being something where we have a shake up in the meta.
That really surprised me that there were 50 first order lists.
They're pumped, man. They are pumped.
Yeah, this is what we play for.
Fun Walk, our resident media team member, Exiled Gaming commentator, and memester says 50 in the event, none in the cut. So we'll see if it comes. All right, Green Dragoon, one of our statisticians in the community, says false, only 44. No, 44. Still a good number.
Still a lot, yeah. And for what I saw, only 11 resistance, which really surprised me. Whoops.
A little misclick there. Happens. And focus, focus, hit focus. Spends for 2.
Boba's still got all those rerolls, though.
Boba doing what it do.
And this shot's going to hurt, because that hull breach is absolutely brutal. Might as well be 4 crits coming in.
Yeah, that's the hull breach doing its work here. Here's the first one. Damage sensor. Here, I'll let you guys watch the carnage here. Damage sensor array for the first one. Panic pilot. Take a couple stress. No big. We're halfway there only, by the way, fam. There's 2 more crits coming.
Oh,
Fuel
okay.
leak.
I was wondering we were going to see the chain here.
And there's going to be an additional damage there. Weapons failure and takes a damage now from fuel leak, which is also a crit because of hull breach. Damage engine. The weapons are down. The engines are down. You're leaking fuel. You're freaking out. Sensors? No. And you're on fire. So we got 2 hull left on Leia Organa. I mean, we have some people in the chat calling GG. I mean, it's probably with Boba Fett, especially having lost only a single shield. But you were talking about it earlier, Sam, the fact that Boba Fett can solo a list.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and other than all that stuff, Leia's actually doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Han's going to be upset about how damaged his ship is when she gives it back to him.
What happened to my ship? You just need a little paint, right? Just a little paint.
Yeah, that's just a little touch up. And Boba's in a position here where you just dial in a 1 hard and go wherever you're not going to get shot. And that's pretty much all she wrote, I think.
I have a super random question for the chat. We have anybody here in our community? We got 506 people watching. Maybe we have one. I have. My wife had texted me to ask, see if we had anybody here. Do we have anybody in the community who it's not HVAC, but we have radiators in our house. Anybody here work on radiators and can answer some questions about installing new ones? By any chance, if you're there, tag me, at Gold Squadron Podcast, and we can get a dialogue going. I'm using my powers. It's for good, I promise.
There's got to be somebody, right?
That's right. Gold Squadron Radiator Cast. Yes.
I think the turning point in this game was probably early on when Steven wasn't able to punch through just enough damage on Kashka, where Kashka lived like 1 turn longer than maybe he should have. And I think that losing an extra turn or 2 of Hera's, extremely powerful gun really cost him. And there's the 1 hard for Boba, which was expected. Probably just take a focus. Maybe boost. Okay, he's just taking a target lock.
I mean, there's no reason for Boba Fett to engage. That's
No.
There's no motivation there. Actually, I saw we have an electrician in the chat. Actually, I have questions about that too. So send me an email, goldsquadronpodcast@gmail.com. All right, here we go. We got 2 evades, 1 eyeball on that roll. Boba Fett just doing what he does.
It's not the Gold Squadron trade cast.
Not yet. That's our new channel coming next fall.
Gold Squadron media conglomerate.
That's true. Oh, well, I was talking about it. We got 3 hits there, 2 evades. That is a crit, though. Another crit coming in on Leia. Disabled power regulator.
You can't really get more crits without a ship being dead. I mean, I guess like a decimator could, but that's pretty impressive. That's worthy of a screenshot, I think.
Here's your glory. Right here. We'll flip the camera for you guys.
I like this one. Gold Squadron home needs.
Fuel leak again? Well, no. So fuel leak is immediately repaired when it triggers the first time. And Leia leaving. So remember, in this type of tournament, MOV does matter. I know some maybe more casual players might be wondering, like, why would you run away here? This doesn't make any sense. Go in and fight. Try to see if you can kill him. So margin of victory is those points basically you get that you earn during the match. You and your opponent split 400 points between the two of you, and you get whatever whatever points you killed. And whatever points you get to hold on to as well. There's some other math stuffs in there. But you holding on to ships is good.
Yeah, I think with the way the previous tournaments have gone, some 4 and 2s make it. And so having a good MOV really does matter. So, Steven's going to play it out to the end and just try to accumulate as many. Maybe he can get half Boba at some point and just try to accumulate as many points as possible. Give himself the best shot at making day 2 in case he gets that second loss.
Mm-hmm.
Dion, I've thought about this a lot. What are your thoughts on using strength of schedule versus MOV as a tiebreaker?
So it was that way when first edition, at the very beginning. And so they have problems both ways, right? So strength of schedule sounds nice, where it's like, I want to be rewarded for playing against the best players. But strength of schedule, like just a pure strength of schedule without any adjustment, punishes you if a player drops out. Right?
Right.
And you also have no control over what your previous opponents, what their performance is. So let's say they trash you in your game, you think, hey, at least I'll have some decent SOS. But if they get tabled all the other games, that's actually punishing you. So MOV, while it has its downsides, at least it puts the control of those points into your own hands.
Right. That's the argument I've heard as well. And, I think there are arguments for both sides. Like I used to come from the competitive Magic scene. And I think with with those tournaments, you get, 15 rounds of strength of schedule, right? Whereas with X-Wing, you get 5 or 6 rounds. And so the strength of schedule really accumulates over the course of the tournament. Mm-hmm. Whereas with X-Wing, there's much, there's far fewer ways. My only argument against it is that, MOV, like you want to win the game, right? The record matters the most. And so different lists, can hold points different ways, and certain lists just bleed MOV. And so, like, you almost want to make a decision where it's like, oh, I want a list that can just table everybody, whereas I want a list that's just going to win me every game. So that's my argument against MOV.
I love Tyler Tippett and Chris Allen arguing in the chat here about it. It's fantastic.
I think it's a worthy argument to have. Just curious what your thoughts were on it.
Yeah, I mean, I like MOV just from the. I think actually, Chris did put it the statement here. Putting it into the players' hands makes the players happy, and then he puts other stuff that says that players are wrong. But I'm going to stop it at the first half of the sentence and say that I think that is the emotions of the player is the most important there. So because I think it's better psychologically as a player to say like, oh, I didn't get into the cut because I lost too many points here. I didn't kill enough ships, rather than I didn't get into the cut here because my third round opponent got tabled. Like that the loss of control there kind of stinks. Now, of course, I'm sure some people would prefer to offset the offset the blame, but you know, it is what it is.
I guess the argument too is like if you lose in a 6-round tournament and you know the cut is to top 16, right? Maybe a 4 and 2 or 2 will make it in. And if you lose your first round, you might as well just drop because you're going to be playing in the losers bracket the whole way. And I think that, really, especially because there's only 6 rounds in an X-Wing tournament, I think that's really the factor that makes it so that strength of schedule isn't the best way of doing it.
Yep. And here's another thought, which there are also the systems where we could have made it where it was, you know, X number of people, X record gets into the cut no matter what. So if I had said all 5 and 1s get into the cut, then that would be very different. Then in that case, MOV does not matter. It is just get the W, do whatever you can, which does produce some awesome games. I will tell you that. Players do play a little bit different. Basically, every game is a cut game. But also there is an argument for some people that it kills motivation. I don't know. It's weird. It's all psychology. I think it's neither of the systems are right or wrong. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's probably actually the best way is like this record gets in, but then you get into some logistical problems. Like I thought actually at Worlds last year, the 5 and 2 cut was perfect because you didn't have to be, you know, perfect, but you needed to do well enough throughout the day, and it didn't exclude anybody because of like an arbitrary, you know, cutoff point.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we got some shots here. Leia and Boba are trading some paint.
Looks like Nora was out.
And here's Boba going back. I want to see like a really ridiculous crit chain for Leia's final.
If you're gonna go out, make it big, right?
Yeah, make a big boom.
3 hits.
We might get it here. Might get the dream. Don't spend it. Oh man.
You just wanted to be entertained by the cards. All right.
I did.
One damage there. That's enough. Loose stabilizer. Leia off the table. Nora's still left.
So Boba does not want to trade range 1 shots with Nora here because obviously Nora has that target lock. So I think we're probably just going to see a 1 hard away, and Boba's going to be perfectly happy just having Nora chase him around the board.
Yeah, I mean Nora will likely never catch Boba Fett.
Yeah, especially with that boost. You know, if he gets in a position where they're trading range 3s and he just doesn't want to risk it, he'll just boost out. So it's pretty hard for her to get any time on target here.
Now, real quick, I want to keep talking a little bit about the cut. Now, I do agree. I do like the 5 and 2 system that happened at Worlds last year. I do like that. The thing is that we're only playing 6 rounds rather than 7. So that is one of the reasons why when I was deciding what to do for the Galactic Championship Series, I was, you know, it's like, well, how do I decide who makes the cut and all that? When those decision making came down, I figured just doing straight top 32 gives the most people the most motivation to continue playing. Those people in the middle, you know, who are on the edge.
Yeah, I think for a 6-round tournament, the way you did it is the way to go, where it's a, you know, top 32. But I think if you have the luxury of 7 rounds, 5 and 2 is probably the best system we have. It's just 7-round tournament days are pretty rough.
Oh yeah.
It's a long day. Because I think like at Gen Con it was 6 and 1, which was like really, really hard to get to that. And that was a little too much. But Worlds I thought was perfect. 5 and 2 was a great cutoff.
Yeah, 7 rounds sitting in those terrible chairs for myself as a caster was actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because like they look like they have these big fluffy. If you've ever been to Gen Con, it looks like they have these big fluffy padding on it. Oh.
Uh-oh here.
Hey, blank
Got him.
out for Boba.
All right, we just got to do that, like, you know,
A few more times. Take the shield on Boba Fett.
10 more times and we'll be great. I'll also point out he rolled another crit going over the debris, so that was 2 times this game that he did that.
Boba Fett 1 hit coming back. Nora taking another shield. So here's a question for the chat as we wait here. If you guys have noticed in the emotes that we have now as a partner, we got a bunch. One of the things we have is we have 1 ship per faction. Subs out there, and no cheating, no cheating. Use only 1. Show me what your favorite faction is by posting 1 copy of your favorite ship. Let's see if we can tell what the prominent faction is here just by the ships. The Firestorm Meteor is great, but that's not what I asked for. Oh, we got some cheaters out there posting multiple copies. I see you.
I almost put the fire spray, but then I realized it was the CIS fire spray.
I wasn't trying to see. I suck at emotes. Everybody got confused with the separatists. Yeah, Scum rigged it. That's how it goes. Well, today we are going to be doing a marble race at the end of round 3 to give away an emote swap. So you can swap out one of the faction's emotes, and if you want to swap out the separatist fire spray, which, if I'm honest, I'm not a huge fan of, but I kept my promise. You can do that for something that's a little more separatisty.
You're more honorable than the people that play separatists, that's for sure.
All right, 2 hits. Boba will spend the focus and no damage.
So he's actually getting shots on Boba, which is honestly at this point the best he can hope for.
Mm-hmm. You got to play crazy. Nora has a lockout there already, right?
Mm-hmm. She's been waiting all game for that advanced proton torpedo.
Hit, crit. Coming
Boba
back
doesn't
at
play
Nora.
games though.
Spend the focus, takes hit, crit.
I gotta say, Phil played this game expertly. I think if anyone wants to learn how to play double fire spray, they definitely take a look at this game and how he positioned his ships, and especially his Boba flying has been really spot on in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the double fire spray play. I feel, excuse me. I feel like it requires more patience than I think people realize at first. When you put it through, you're like, oh, fire sprays. You think Mandalorian, scum and villainy, gunslingers. Well, this archetype specifically is you got to play it patient. And I think Nick from the Firecast is letting us know that he's been using this exact list for months now. So he definitely also has the experience in there. So good archetype, good experience. It's hyperspace legal, just happens to be. And Nick, let me know in the Twitch chat. Does he play this in extended tournaments too? Is it the same list?
If I remember too, he played Boba Fett for a while, so he's well versed in this Boba Fett build.
Yep. Phillip Pond did make top 32 at the UK System Open when that happened. Nora just one straight. Going around the mountain. I think the one straight is a setup for the hard turn next turn. Trying to see if you can squeak in the range 1. The difficulty, of course, is the fact that Boba can always just boost out of range 1.
Yeah, he's almost never going to be able to get that range 1 shot.
Nora did have loose stabilizer. That was the reason for the going straight. So that did get cleared this turn. So we can go ahead and clear that off the overlay.
I think one of the Firespares really fly like no other ship just because of that boost and the back arc. And I think the hardest thing to learn as a Firespray is really leveraging that back arc and when you should turn in and when you should be turning away.
Yeah, agreed. Because you can't just go around in a circle. You do have to flip it at some point. You got to flip the table.
Right.
I mean, not flip the table. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Flip
Well,
the direction.
100% you do that at the end of the game.
All right, so Nora did hard 2 there, landing the debris. Just trying to get shots. Putting the arc in the spot where Boba Fett could be. And there it is. I was waiting for somebody.
Yeah, Boba just says nope.
Yep, just keep getting range. There's no reason for me to be taking shots if I don't have to, and if I do, it's going to be range 3 shots.
Nora should have a stress on her from going over that debris. I'm almost wondering if Steven would have a better success if he brought gas clouds instead of the debris. I think he's trying to leverage Chopper, but it seems like this game in particular really kind of got in his way, having all those debris out there.
Yeah, I would agree. Freudian slip. No. All right, so just out of range there. Now, as we hang out with you these next couple rounds, Sam, if you were playing in this Hyperspace event, what faction would you have brought?
Man, so in Hyperspace, I have mainly been flying Republic, and particularly, I was really interested in that Triple Jedi and Rick list that Christopher Bankson flew at the, I think it was the System Open, whenever that was. I don't know, 40 years ago, as it feels like. But it's 3 CLT Jedi, so it's Obi, Plo, and Ahsoka plus Rick. And so I've been messing around with that. Always Obi and Plo with CLT. And then the interchangeable pieces have been a Y-Wing with 7 Fleet Gunner, a Lat with 7 Fleet Gunner, and Rick, and then whatever the last piece fits. So I just think that 7 Fleet Gunner is one of the most underrated cards right now, just because with the CLT having that 5 dice shot is pretty amazing. And I just like the way the Jedi play, so that's probably what I would play, is some iteration of that.
Cool, I like it.
I think Republic is really strong in Hyperspace.
Especially with the addition of the Lat, a lot of different options popping up.
Yeah, and the Lat with some 7 Fleet Gunner and the CLT Jedi, you can get 4 dice or 5 dice double modified shots. It's really, really good.
Now, one other thing I want to bring up, with the upcoming Flight Club Championship Series that will kick off in January. Some people have been asking, can you tell us when it is? I need to double check a couple of dates, but it's going to be in January, not starting on New Year's weekend. Then the other question that has popped up, well, if it's in January, what are you going to be doing for November and December? Well, we're going to take a little break with events, just because, you know, we get into the holidays really quickly. We got Hanukkah, we got Christmas, we got Thanksgiving, and all kinds of celebrations happening during that time. So it's just easier to not do events. But what I do want to do is, and I'm still in the process of planning this, is I want to do a 24-hour charity stream for X-Wing with you guys. I still need to plan it, what I want to do, because I want to have I got some ideas. I just need to finish parsing them out. Should be good though. I think it'll be a good time and something to do for us as an X-Wing community and come together. Should be a great time.
Do you know what charity you would support?
I'm still deciding. So I'm looking. I will tell you that I'm between 3 right now. I'm between 3. I don't want to name anything just because I don't want people to be like, oh, you should have done X or Y or Z. It'll be what it is when I'm ready. All right.
So he's still holding on to that target lock. He's just he wants the dream so bad. I don't blame him, you know.
Yep. I mean, you paid for those points.
And actually, Boba's in a position where he actually might need to turn in. He could just continue to 3 bank and, you know, boost around the board, but I mean, who knows? You could get a 5 dice advanced proton torpedo. Boba blanks out. You get 3 crits in there. You know, who knows? Yeah, so he did do the 1 hard here. And I don't think he can boost out of it. I just think it's maybe just barely range 2.
Nora's just wishing, please, please.
Yeah, I could have been.
So close. Taking the reinforce just in case. Reinforce in the front. It is range 2 confirmed.
Sad.
So Nora with 3 hull left. Trying to do something. Rolls a crit.
Just spend it. He's still holding on to that lock.
Hope. Rebellions are built on hope, Sam.
Nora's been hoping for a while now.
Trail mix. Spend 2 hits. Got the squiggle. Down to 2 hull. So yeah, one of my goals with the charity stream, again, I'm working on the date and all that, is we by doing it independently, we can do some stuff that the Campaign Against Cancer couldn't have done, and that's just because the legal liabilities that they have because they have official dealings with Lucasfilm and all that. But what we could do here is, because we do have access to Tabletop Simulator and literally players around the world, is the goal would be to have 24 hours of games, different what's the word I'm looking for? Exhibition matches, scheduled matches, grudge matches. I think it could just be a great opportunity to feature some people, have a good time, do some giveaways, raise money for charity. I mean, it sounds like a win-win.
Maybe some rivalry matches.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Rivalry games.
Who would be your rival, your X-Wing rival, Dion?
My
I mean, we got
X-Wing
obviously
rival?
based on a couple, like an hour earlier, we got to get Tyler Tippett versus Chris Allen.
My X-Wing rival. That's a great question. I will tell you, the first person who actually comes to mind is Will.
There you go.
Yeah.
It looks like Nora might be on her last hope here. And I think we got enough dice there, even with the added evade.